I break it down for my students usually into two types of listening, passive listening and active listening. Passive listening is what happens when you just have something playing in the background throughout your day. Maybe you're listening to Mini-Gaeltacht, or you've got something going on TG4, TG4, and you're not really trying to understand it, you're just letting it wash over you. And you may wonder, what's the point of that? What am I learning? What you're absorbing is the natural cadence of the language, which is something Siobhan mentioned, the ups and downs, the emphases and such. Your brain is picking that up and making it part of its linguistic world, even if you're not understanding the words. And I think that's seriously important to do every single day. To pick a time, if you can have something going on at work, if you have headphones, you can listen to something, turn on Mini-Gaeltacht. If you have time and you enjoy watching television, go to TG4, pick a show. They have everything from documentaries to soap operas, reality shows, game shows. Pick something that sounds interesting and watch that with the subtitles. Just let it wash over you. But approximately, every 2 or 3 days during the week, what you want to practice is what I call active listening, listening for comprehension. And, again, that's something that initially is going to be really challenging for you. What I suggest is that you take a very predictable program. The one I often recommend to students is the weather, because you know that the weather is going to have something to do with things, with sun, with rain, with fog. It's predictable. And you start by making a list of weather terms that you know. You know the word for sun, you know the word for rain, you know the word for fog. Write them down. And then you listen to the weather report, and you see how many of those words you can pick up. And just, don't stress yourself, but see how many words you can pick up, and you might hear them in mutated forms. I mentioned grian, sun. You might hear grian word, sunny. Wind, gri. You might hear grifer, windy. Keep your ears open for those differences and see what you think you can spot. The advantage is, of course, you've got the weather reporter there with the map of Ireland and what's going on here and what's going on there, and so it gives you visual cues. You might also listen for city names and county names in Ireland, because that's going to be said too. That also gives you the advantage of hearing different dialects, because TG4 uses presenters from different regions of the country. I don't recommend you to actually do that on TG4 itself. You can get the weather report on YouTube, separated out from the rest of the news. It's usually not more than about 10 minutes long. Another program that I recommend people do that with is a little children's cooking show called BLN. And again, because it uses simple terminology, and you can sit down and make a list beforehand of cooking terms, perhaps mixing, rolling, baking, cooking, things like that. Make a list of cooking terms that you know or that you can look up, and then listen for them during the course of the program. And the more you do that, the more other things you'll find yourself starting to pick up, because you'll see people doing the actions and hear them talking back and forth about what they're doing. And you'll start to engage with the language then again at a natural level, the level that people actually speak it. An advantage too to that particular little program, to BLN, is that you hear different dialects. The presenter is from Munster. The puppets speak Ulster Irish, and then the kids on the show can be from anywhere. So you get to where you're hearing these differences. For example, the puppet, he's always saying doi, doi. That's how we say aus or Gahintak a lot in Ulster, is doi. So you learn to train your ear to switch back and forth between those things. Because one of the things you'll find is that the dialects are not as separated in Irish as they used to be. And if you go to a Gaeltacht program, chances are you'll have people from all over Ireland, as well as urban Irish speakers and Irish learners, speaking to you, and you have to be able to sort those things out.